Shruti is taking what the legal course, what rights she has according to the legal course. And I guess the person who is the accused, Mr. Arjun Sarja, also has the legal option, and he's taking the legal course. So it's they're fighting it out in the law, and I think truth will prevail, justice will prevail. But there are a lot of false allegations that are coming out, whether that be like some kind of money from America and all this stuff, and 1.5 to 2 crore demand, and like some kind of like compromise. I mean, these are just unsubstantiated, kind of fabricated kind of statements. It actually delegitimizes Mr. Arjun Sarja's case in these kind of fabrications. I don't know whether he's actually putting them out himself. I don't see that. I think it's his camp that is putting them out. But if he knows about it, he should stop them. And there's also this claim that for 6 months his account was hacked. There's a question like, why was if his account was hacked 6 months ago, why is he bringing it up so late in the day? There's a lot of confusions that we still don't understand. Well, there is definitely some disagreement in Sandalwood, and I don't believe that disagreement and dialogue is a bad thing. In fact, disagreement and dialogue is necessary for some kind of like understanding, some kind of come to a mutually beneficial resolution. If you don't talk about the issue, there's not going to be any disagreement, and this gross injustice that is sexual harassment will persist. So the fact that there's actually a discussion going on, the fact that there's people actually coming out and saying, this has happened to me, this is wrong, there's actresses coming out and saying it, there are actors who are supporting it, there are directors who are supporting it, there are various people who are supporting it, shows that it's about time Sandalwood has a dialogue just like any other industry about this issue. See, the film chamber itself does not have the necessary mechanism to handle sexual harassment. It doesn't have an internal complaints committee. It doesn't have the objectivity and the sensitivity and the mental kind of like the mindset to handle these kind of cases. So it needs a different body for this. We have built that different body from the FIRE, Film Industry for Rights and Equality, FIRE organization, with an ICC according to the Vishaka guidelines and the 2013 Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. So in that sense, if the film chamber is going to build their own ICC, more power to them. But whoever wants to come to ours, we'll handle it. We'll handle an investigation, and we'll work with the members of the film industry to provide justice to whoever is wronged. No, I mean, this board member has been, one board key member has resigned, but that was 5 months ago. It's now coming out and the media is bringing it out to light, but this was a different issue when the FIRE took on the Amma issue, where they said the reinstatement of Dilip, and one member said, I was very close to the Dilip, I can't take the issue, which is her prerogative. But then she also said, FIRE should not take the stand because I'm close to the person. That's not her prerogative. That's the FIRE organization should like mutually understand. So then she decided to resign in that context, and that is also her prerogative. So in that way, that was something that happened 4 months ago. At the current time, no key member has resigned presently. I was disappointed with the fact that Dhruva spoke very aggressively, spoke very, did not allow me to speak, spoke in singular, and it showed a certain amount of unfortunate immaturity in Dhruva. We don't expect those kind of talks, and the thing is, it actually kind of discredited the Sarja family, so they're actually doing the kind of talks that Dhruva is making. He's actually giving his own family, a family that has quite a big name in the Kannada industry, actually giving them a black mark. So he is shooting himself in the foot, and Dhruva shouldn't have spoken like that. I tried to give him a respect, try to talk as give mutual humanity when somebody talks, listen to him, listen to me, but he wasn't ready to listen to me. He was aggressively finding fault with me, talking in singular, and that is not the way we should have a dialogue. That is definitely not the way we should have a dialogue anywhere in Sandalwood or anywhere in society, and that was an unfortunate situation. These kind of personal accusations by Muniratna or anybody else, Sara Govind, is very unfortunate. They are clearly victim blaming, victim shaming somebody who has gone through or claims to have gone through a very difficult time. So in that way, it's clearly a certain amount of insensitivity, a certain amount of misogynistic ideas. These kind of ideas should not dominate the film industry. These kind of people should not be in positions of power. These kind of people have so many skeletons in their own closet. We have read articles about Muniratna's corruption scandals. We have read articles about Muniratna's own personal transgressions with women. These are definitely people who have many questionable behavior, a checkered past, and them making victim blaming, victim shaming accusations only validates the fact that sandalwood has a lot of things to correct, and people in positions of power are not able to handle a very sensitive topic like sexual harassment. See, first of all, you take the issues that happen in Sandalwood itself. Sangeeta Bhatt's episode has gone through, narrated a series of episodes that happened over 10 years. Even her most recent episode might have happened in 2017, possibly even 2018. So it's a series of episodes she narrated. You take Shruti's episode, it hasn't happened 10 years back, it hasn't happened 15 years back, it happened 1.5 years back in a film that is actually still in like a couple months ago, it released in Telugu. So there is like something that's happened recently, and so they have, and each situation has its own nuances, its own subtleties, its own specificities. And Shruti's situation happened on a film set in front of many people, so there might be some evidence there because it happened in a public setting. It wasn't between four walls. So every situation has to be looked at in a context-sensitive way. And now that women are bold enough because of the Me Too movement, now that the media is giving space, now that people are ready to listen, now that cinema industries are ready to introspect, because that's a very necessary thing, the introspection, the self-questioning. It's the right time that people are coming out. It's better late than never. In terms of Me Too, I really believe sexual harassment is something that is very rampant in the film industry. The Me Too campaign kind of erupted and exploded because sexual harassment, which was so persistent, was brushed under the rug, was not acknowledged, was almost like said anybody who came out was vilified. For that reason, Me Too was an inevitability, so it exploded. I don't think Me Too is a sustainable model. I think the sustainable model is the Internal Complaints Committee and ICC, which is a confidential kind of body based off the Vishaka guidelines and the 2013 Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. But what I do say to the people who have experienced this struggle is please come out, speak out, and stay strong, and stand for like what is justice, what is equality, what is gender sensitivity, because your voices will make a very significant difference, and your voices will really add more power to the people who are already standing about, because like when few voices are there, they're easily targeted, but when we join hands and we make it a larger movement, then we could definitely make a big change. Yeah, sexual harassment is one form of sexual harassment is casting couch, you're giving job for favors where merit and talent and passion are completely neglected. This must definitely completely end. If we want to end this, we need the ICC, and we need a confidential way, and we need a sensitive way of handling this. I think the film industry is now getting ready for that, and the film industry must bring in a mechanism for this, and we want to stop this victim blaming, we want to stop this victim shaming, we want to stop these horrific acts, and the people who are in positions of power must question themselves, or else we're going to question them. FIRE intends to continue to fight to get rid of sexual harassment. We've already taken cases. There's also people talking about how to present new cases. So anything that we could do to help out and like challenge the sexual harassment scourge, we're going to keep the fight up. We're also going to help out when it comes to workers. We're also going to help out when it comes to building a writers guild. So this is like an overall beneficial from a grassroots way. And the most important thing about FIRE is it's a unified, concerted voice against the injustice that is prevalent in the industry. And we want to do that and even expand that to any kind of injustice in society. But first, we must clean up our own house, which is the film industry, and we're in the process of doing that. Yes, Arjun Sarja is a big star. Shruti has also made a very significant name for herself. She has acted in very good films. She has performed very well. She has like spoken out against sexual harassment, against like casting couch and her own experiences for years. So I think her words do hold a lot of merit. And what I do see is daily, different women, different men, different actors, different directors, different people are coming out day by day. They're getting more courage, and that's a very promising sign. And in that way, I do think there is definitely a challenging of the system. It's not going to have overwhelming. If it was overwhelming with support, then we wouldn't probably have this problem. It's going to be a few people standing committed, standing ethically, making noise, and day by day, we are chiseling out a better industry that is equitable, that is safe, and that is healthy.